Wander Wealthy Podcast, episode 148. Hello, babes. Welcome back to another episode of the Wander Wealthy Podcast, and welcome to day number 12 of the 12 Days of Money Mindset series. It is the final day, and I really hope that this series has been everything you wanted it to be. If you have any additional questions, or you want to talk money mindset with me, or you want to work with me on your money mindset, reach out to me. Go to Instagram and add me at Tess_Wicks, or you can send me an email, tess@wanderwealthy.com, and make sure you sign up for our free live training that we are conducting on the 7th and the 8th. There are 3 different options for you to sign up for that training. You can get into it by going to wanderwealthy.com/webinar. Today, we are going to be decoding manifestation. And I wanted to end with this because I think that manifestation is such a cool thing. It's such a cool place to start dabbling in. And the reason I created this entire series was because I wanted to create kind of an intro to money mindset, help you really understand money mindset on a level that felt bite-sized, felt like it was tangible, you could really grasp it, sink your teeth into it, you could do some things to work on your own money mindset, and you could see the many facets of how money mindset plays a role in our lives and all the different work that we could do for ourselves to really shift the way that we think, feel, and experience money. And so the culminating point, I had a hard time thinking about where am I going to end with this? But I wanted to end with the idea of manifestation, because I feel like manifestation is probably the most woo-woo for a lot of people. It's like, what, you can manifest things out of thin air? And I really wanted to tie the loose ends together of helping you see that manifesting things in your life is completely possible. And everything that we have in our life, technically, we have manifested. And stick with me here. Manifestation is really the ability to think about something and then all of a sudden have it appear in our lives. That seems like woo-woo magic BS, right? Because you can't just think about something and then bam, it's there. But it's really about the process of focusing on what it is you want and then seeing it come to fruition in your life. And manifestation can happen really rapidly. It can also happen over time. But I want you to look at everything that you currently have and realize that you have manifested it. And this is proof that you are a powerful manifester. And yes, it does also mean that some of the results that you didn't want, because we are at cause for our results, we've also manifested those. But now we know every result we get starts with a thought, because our thoughts influence our feelings. They put us in a certain state of being, and we take action or have behaviors or develop habits out of those states, and those habits and actions and behaviors are ultimately what's going to lead to our results. If you have something that you don't want, it is a result of some sort of behavior that you took. And even if it seems like, well, it's someone else's fault that this is now in my life, there was at some point behaviors where you decided to bring this other person into your life that created this result, right? And so that's the hard truth about manifestation. But the great truth is, think about everything great you have in your life. Think about the gratitude we did yesterday and how you have so many wonderful things and you've created so many transformations and experiences for yourself, or actual physical material things you have been able to buy and purchase with your own money or acquire through different opportunities and avenues. You've also manifested that. The action was you went and you purchased that thing. And before that, maybe you saved up for that thing. And before that, you felt like, I could have that thing. That thing is something that, I feel excited about. And before that is a thought about the thing that then created the feeling that led to the actions that led to the results, right? So we can reverse engineer manifestation in that way and then see, oh, right, the job that I have, the partner that I have, this mug that I bought, it's all stuff that started with thoughts I had. It might not even be about the ultimate result you ended up getting, but it was a thought that you had that led to those feelings, that led to the actions that created these results. And that's really powerful. And money mindset and manifestation, a lot of it is about claiming your power, knowing that you are in control of these results because you created the current ones that you have. And so the minute we can take ownership for that, we can also say, dang, I am a powerful manifester. Some things I didn't want to manifest, and they just manifested because I had those thoughts. And now I know my thoughts are powerful, and I need to start controlling them. I need to start paying attention to the things that I'm thinking and really make sure that my thoughts are focused on positive future goals that I actually want, and not full of doubt or not full of shame or grief or guilt or fear or scarcity or victimizing myself and putting myself in the position of thinking I have these results because someone else created them for me. And so even if you were plopped into this situation out of your control, maybe your parents, and I totally understand that, there's definitely other underlying issues there, but now you can claim I have the control. And it's going to be hard. It might be hard because I might be set back several steps behind others. But now I know I have the control and I can manifest, if you want to talk about it, or just say, I have the control of my thoughts, which can control my feelings, which can control my actions, which can control the results that I'm getting. And a lot of people think like, okay, the results I'm getting aren't what I want, so I just need to change what I'm doing. But they don't think about working on the thoughts and the feelings so that they can change what they're doing so they can get different results. So they continue to usually get the same results to no avail. Some people won't even tweak the actions they're taking and then still get the same results, obviously. Some will tweak the actions or try to tweak the actions but get the same results because they're not really looking at the root of the problem, which is thinking back in that whole model of cognitive behavioral psychology or neurolinguistic programming of thinking about how it all starts with thoughts. I wanted to also talk about the idea that we can be in a place of gratitude and be so grateful for the things that we have manifested and still seek for more, still have additional goals. And this is really important as well. It's not that it's not okay for you to be grateful and want more. That is actually the opposite. It's not okay for you to not want more. It's not okay for you to not have bigger goals that you are aiming for. Because humans who stop moving, who stop learning, who stop working, and I don't mean like working in a 9-to-5 or working self-employed, but stop working on themselves of constantly improving and working towards the next goal, they are the ones who die the quickest, who suffer and fade out the fastest. Because our brain and our bodies, they want to continue to work towards that next level. That is how we are driven. That is how our hierarchy of needs are built. And so we need to want more. So it's actually exactly the opposite. I know that so many people feel guilt for having a great life, having the things that they want, and then wanting more. And I always say, no, you need to want more. Otherwise, what will happen to your mind? What will happen to your body? It will just sit there and be sedentary, and then you'll start to break apart. Like, think about muscles that don't continue working, that don't continue going to the gym to work on themselves, or going outside and running, or whatever it is that you do to work on yourself. You sit there and you're sedentary and you start to disintegrate. And that's the same thing with your mind. That's the same thing with your being, your energy, everything. You have to want more. You have to go after it. And it is absolutely acceptable for you to feel grateful for where you're at, to be grateful for all the things that you have currently manifested, even if they created some level of stress. Like I had mentioned, being grateful for the debt that you've acquired and what that debt has created for you in terms of the positive aspects, being grateful for being able to go to school and get an education, and now you have a job that produces income for you that then you've been able to use and manifest for other things, like buying the coffee mug or buying my computer glasses or whatever that is, right? But then we can get back to the debt and go, I'm grateful for that. And now the debt might be a tool, and it's absolutely a neutral thing, but it's a tool that has caused and created stress for me, but now I can flip it on its head and be grateful instead of acting out of scarcity. And I can want more. I can want to create more money through my work, through my side hustle, whatever it is, so I can pay off this debt faster, so I can serve and be grateful for it even more, because by decreasing those payments, by decreasing that debt amount, you're then increasing the value of what it originally bought for you, which is a weird thing to think about, but it is true. So manifesting, it's not about just the magical plot, like I can think it and then I get it. That's like the collapsed time version, the collapsed time explanation of manifesting is think and you shall receive, right? But it's about thinking about it and putting it into your subconscious mind so your subconscious mind can truly believe that you are worthy of that it is something that you can get. And using that to activate a certain state, a certain feeling that you want to be in, which then creates that foundation of how you're going to behave, what actions you're going to take, where you're going to act from. What sort of state are you acting from? Is it a state of confidence? Is it a state of happiness? Is it a state of gratitude? Or is it a state of scarcity, fear, frustration, stress, anxiety? That different spectrum of states, each of them are going to create and lead to different actions. This is what people talk about when they're talking about inspired action. There's not a lot of inspired action that comes out of the fear and stress and scarcity and anxiety, right? And that's why we have to shift that state. And we know we can shift the state by shifting our thoughts. And then we have these different sets of action, which then create the ultimate results, the ultimate reality that we have manifested. And it can happen over a much shorter amount of time than you might think, but it also might take time. And I think at the very least, if you're skeptical, practice working on your thoughts, because at the end of the day, it's so much more fun to live this life having positive, grateful, confident, abundant thoughts than constantly letting yourself slip into scarcity, into fear, into frustration, into stress, into anxiety. And yes, there's a lot more where that came from. There's so much more that we can do to really get nitty-gritty and work on these. And that's why I invite you to join us in the webinar so we can talk about specific money problems and how to make those shifts from that scarcity, fear, frustration, anxiety side into the abundant, gratitude, confident, whatever it is that you need to be shifting so that you can solve each of these issues, each of these problems. So go to wanderwealthy.com/webinar to sign up. We're kicking it off in January with a whole new money mindset. And for today, your final challenge is to decide what's one thing that you want to manifest next year. And how can you start with the thought, placing that into your subconscious, getting it very specific. So if it's a money goal that you have, you got to get specific with it. Get really specific around that money goal and place it into your subconscious and think about it every single day. But you also have to have the ancillary thoughts that tell you that you are capable, you deserve it, you can do it, it is there for you, it is going to happen. Because you don't want to have that one thought and then let it trickle off into, oh, but I don't know if I can, and I don't know if I want to, and I don't know, I have a little bit of self-doubt, and I'm a fraud, and blah, 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 right? We have to keep the positive vibes around that thought and protect that thought. And allow that to create your state, or you can use your anchor that we did a couple days ago, anchor into a confident state, to a grateful state, whatever it is. But from that thought, we want to be able to trigger that state. And from that state, that's where we're going to start taking that inspired action, which will ultimately lead to our results. So decide, what do you want? Get it down on paper, make it specific, because your subconscious mind loves specificity, it loves taking orders, and protect that thought, utilize your states, and see that you're going to take action from that much more abundantly focused state, and that will lead to the ultimate results that you want. And it might take a whole year, it might take 3 years, it might take a month, it might take a week, but decide what is it that you want, be specific, and now you have the formula to go after it. Okay, so that wraps up the 12 days of money mindset. I'm kind of sad, but this has been a lot of work. So I'm happy that it's over. I'm excited that we get to do this. And now we get to go into the holidays and really enjoy being with our friends, being with our family. Protect yourself, especially if you do have triggering family members that can create anxiety. Give them love, give them gratitude. Be grateful for where you're at right now. And if you need to, take your time, take your space whenever you need it to protect yourself and your energy. And then in the new year, join us on the webinar. We can keep these high vibes rolling, and there's going to be a lot of new things coming your way in 2020. So let's do it together. Until I see you guys next time, the next podcast episode is going to be the first Thursday of January. So we're taking a little bit of a break, but not really. I think we're just taking one Thursday off, and I will see you all in January. And I really hope to see you in the webinar. Go to wanderwealthy.com/webinar to sign up. And until next time, I hope you wander wealthy.